Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. Transgender people will no longer be allowed to serve in the U.S. military as of tonight. President Trump making the decision known in true Trumpian style through a series of tweets this morning, catching nearly everyone, even many at the Pentagon, by surprise. The president called transgenders in the military a burden and disruption to service in an about-face from his comments on their service in the past. Correspondent Doug McKelway has been following all the developments from the Pentagon and joins us live now with reaction to the president's move. Good evening, Doug.
Evening, Brett. This stunning development began to heat up 2 weeks ago when Republican Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler introduced an amendment to bar money for gender reassignment surgery in the military. It was rejected because, at the urging of the White House, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis phoned lawmakers asking them to withdraw the amendment. They feared that it would split GOP conservatives and moderates and jeopardize defense spending.
This is crazy.
Tell me about your policy on transgender people in the military.
Well, that's you. Go ahead. She's very rude.
The military's policy of allowing transgender personnel to serve lasted just over a year before it came to a crashing halt this morning with 3 tweets from the commander-in-chief. Quote, "After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military."
Listen, this was 7 years ago. All right, 7 years ago. After Trump got out of office, Biden reinstated that transgenders can join the military. Right? And now we're back with Trump. Now this story just broke today that Trump bans transgenders from joining the military again. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on out here in these streets.
President Donald Trump is expected to sign executive orders shortly banning transgender service members from serving in the armed forces and also crack down on the military's diversity, equity and inclusion programs. Now, Trump banned transgender Americans from military service back in 2017, with that order repealed by Biden in 2021. And now in his second term, President Trump is expected to go further. Let's get more on this. Patricia King is a transgender Army veteran who has been mentoring and supporting transgender active duty service members. She joins us now from Silver Spring, Maryland. Patricia, thank you for your time. What do we understand this new executive order will mean?
Well, we're not entirely certain yet, as the order hasn't come out. But if we look at what happened in 2018, we know that Donald Trump issued an order to the Secretary of Defense to go ahead and start the process of removing transgender service members. So if past his prologue, we might see something like that, but it's just too soon to speculate on what this will look like and what it will mean for.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Y'all see it. We see it. We all do. All right. Trying to be nice here. What's going on? What's going on? Listen here, man. Listen here. This is definitely a distraction. It's a distraction. I'm not saying, and I appreciate you for serving the country. I really do. I'm not saying that transgender people should not serve. Okay, I'm not going to be that cruel. But I will say this is a distraction. Absolutely. Absolutely a distraction. Cuz I'm just like, but you know, kudos to you, because I feel like if you join the military, you have a lot of balls. You do. You have a lot of balls.
For trans service members and those hoping to serve.
Okay, so active duty transgender troops could be discharged from the military under this order, but we just await to see the detail on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're having to wait and see what this is going to look like and how it's going to affect thousands of trans service members.
Now, in 2015, you became the first transgender infantry soldier in the US to come out as transgender. With that background, how are you feeling about this?
This is discouraging, but not disheartening. There are thousands of service members right now serving with distinction and dignity, uh, who just want to do their job. They want to serve their country and their comrades. And this is hard. This was hard for me when it happened, and I can imagine that it's hard for them to be going through it. But this doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change my passion, and it doesn't change their passion. And we're just going to have to move forward and find out how we do that.
Now, as we say,
Listen here, man. At the same time, I'm kind of thinking, like, why wouldn't you allow them to be in there? If they're, because not a lot of people is trying to be in the military. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they aren't. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they're backing off. But if you got actual people that want to be in the military, I say take them. I say take them. It might not be the strongest military, but you gonna at least have bodies. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes down to it, somebody gotta die. I'm not saying they should die or anything like that. That's not. Don't put that in your head. I'm just saying, because being a military person is kind of almost borderline. I might die. That's what you sign up for. If we go to war, I'm probably going to die. That's what you sign up for. So if you actually have people that are willing to die for the country, it shouldn't matter what gender, what race, it shouldn't matter. And this was a big thing in DEI. I believe that's what helped bring transgenders back into the military. I say let it happen. I say let them do it. If they're choosing to serve the country, they're willing to die for the country, it shouldn't matter. Let's continue.
we're awaiting the detail on this, but tell us about the reasoning that has been put forward, pointing to transition surgery, the medication and recovery required for that not being conducive for deployment. What's your reaction to that? What do you make of that?
These arguments just kind of fall flat on their face. Transgender service members have been serving for quite a while. We happen to know that transgender service members, the cost per service member is roughly $640 per year. It's not high. And as far as the time of training, all service members meet with their medical providers to find the fastest path, regardless of what medical treatment they happen to need. And that's the case for trans service members as well. The goal is to get them back to the force as quickly as possible.
And what about this idea of unit cohesion and this argument that transgender troops would affect that? What is that argument? And given you have experience having been in the military, what did you experience in that?
Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below, please.
You know, what affects unit cohesion is telling a unit that somebody is going to be removed from the fight. Telling a unit that somebody who's supposed to deploy with them, their battle buddy who's supposed to watch their back, is not going to be there, that affects unit cohesion. Those service members, they don't see somebody who's trans, they just see a battle buddy.
Patricia, where does the American public sit on this?
Overwhelmingly, the American public has supported open transgender service. Their feeling is the same as mine, and that's that anybody who is qualified to serve should be available to do so.
I agree.
And the US military, it has struggled to meet recruiting goals.
I agree.
What effect do you think an order like this could have?
I actually agree. I agree. You know, they might not see it that way, but especially if the military is getting weaker and weaker, not weaker in the sense as in like our technology is getting worse, but weaker in the sense as nobody's trying to sign up and you got volunteers, I think you take them. You take them regardless of what. Banning them, I get it might not affect the military that much, obviously, because the military is practically mostly men. Men would probably about 25% women, and then about 5% the rest, whatever you want to call. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really like it's gonna be a huge hit to the military, but those are bodies. Those are bodies. To be honest with you, and that's how they should look at it. I think honestly, you don't know what this person could do. You don't know if they can be the most heroic person we've ever seen. I'm not saying that they are, but I'm just saying, like, you don't know. They might be the reason why somebody got saved. They could have possibly saved one of their partners, or they could have possibly taken a bullet for one of their partners. Who knows? But at least they're in the military, and you can use them. I say. But that's just me, though. That's just me. Let's continue.
A ban on transgender service members is going to have more effect on unit cohesion. It's going to have effect on the loss of qualified service members. Is more about the fact that an overwhelming number of trans service members have well over a decade of service. We're talking about a loss of years and years of institutional knowledge and expertise. We're talking about a loss of millions of dollars in training and hours in training. That is the impact on the force and the impact that we're going to see.
Army veteran Patricia King, thank you for joining us.
Patricia King. Clearly he was a man, but I guess he's a woman now. And I don't know. I'm kind of in a way feeling like, they should allow them in there, but at the same time, if they go in there and they acting real sus, then I could see why it would be a big distraction. Because usually they're not tough. They're not tough at all. They're very, very feminine, and usually you need some really tough people in the military. You need some people that pretty much can go stone cold, because the amount of trauma that they're going to deal with if they do get into wars or if they do get into conflicts, it's a big amount of trauma that they can bring to themselves. And you gotta be tough. You gotta be real strong. It's not for the weak. People don't just sign up just because the benefits. They sign up because they're actually really trying to save America. They're trying to protect their brother, their sister. So I respect it. I respect it, regardless of how I feel about transgenders or whatever the case may be. I respect what she or he has done, and obviously the ban is back. This is Trump's America for the next 4 years. Who knows what's going to happen after? I believe that honestly the Republicans are going to be holding this seat for a little while, unless the Democrats somehow find some charismatic, very, very confident leader. And that is something that we have yet to see. But you got 4 years to do it, so we'll see. Let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all viewership. It means so much to me. Let me know y'all thoughts, man. Hit that like button, smash that like button, smash that like button for your boy, and hit that subscribe button if y'all are new. Until next time, it's your boy Dgotsauce. Peace.